Hey, there's the closing bell, everybody. Happy Halloween. No, I'm not in costume. I know so many people were asking me, are you going to be in costume today? And no, we got to get down to business here, guys. And thank you for this special edition today. Kind of wanted to wait till the close today for a couple reasons. Number one, end of month. Number two, because of what was going on with market activity, and S&P is now closing on their low of the day here. Number three, we've got Apple and Amazon after the bell coming out any moment now. So those will be out live here. And there is just so much going on. I actually thought, and I mentioned this in the rooms a few minutes ago, 15 minutes ago or so, thought that looked like there might be some buying coming into the close of the market. But we see, let's go to the tickers here, and we see the S&Ps at their low of the day. Oh, John, come on. Sandip. All right, how are you? Yes, we do have a futures program. We can tell you more about it at the end of this, all right? Does that work for you, Sandip? Because I know you were just asking in the room here. Okay, Amazon. Okay, well, Apple usually is a little bit later, so we will get it during the live stream here. Looks like Amazon, at least a little bit of a pop here, up what, $4.50 or now? Pat, I don't know. Where's the thumbs up? I don't see it as I am speaking to everybody, so I'm not really sure here. Okay, Amazon is up now $8 after hours. We'll have to see if that holds. Okay, the market would sure like to see a good report out of Amazon and Apple, especially ahead of tomorrow's big jobs number. Right? We all know tomorrow morning is the October jobs number. The September number, if you can remember a month back, was much, much stronger than expected. And that's what really set kind of the ball rolling and things in motion for the Fed to really start tempering what they might be doing with interest rate cuts, where the market really had a 50% or almost 100% chance of another 50 basis point cut kind of baked in. And then as soon as that number came out and some of the other strong eco data that came out afterwards, that has now faded. There's still most likely, I think it's a 97% probability of a 25 basis point cut. So that's still on the table, but tomorrow is really going to be big for the overall market. Getting that report in the midst of these big super tech earnings after Microsoft and Meta dismal reports yesterday, Alphabet, Google better earlier in the week, and now with Apple and Amazon, the market probably needs a little shot in the arm of some good news here. Now, you get into that situation. What is good news? What is bad news? Right? Is a better labor market good or bad news? Well, obviously we want a better labor market, but I think the market, the stock market, the overall market wants to see that tempered a little bit. Because if that's a really, really strong number tomorrow, okay, again, that's going to affect maybe what the Fed does. And what I would also tell everybody, tomorrow morning when you're watching what the number is, okay, and it comes out at 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 Eastern, when you're watching what that number is and you see that headline number, if you trade futures, if you're trading pre-market, anything, be really, really careful, because on tomorrow's expectations, on the estimates for tomorrow, okay, there is a very wide range of what to expect. The reason being is the impact from the hurricanes. So one estimate I saw had 140,000 job gain. Another one I saw had 110,000. So just be really, really careful if you are trading in the pre-market tomorrow, because we never know how the market is going to react to these numbers. Okay, so that is just a heads up. All right, guys, let's the election just a few days away. Okay, and not only that, but the Fed meeting next week, this volatility that we're seeing is probably going to continue. Now, I'm going to show you VIX in a minute here. I don't know that we're going to see a big pop from the VIX from where it's at. It seems to be actually pretty complacent, and I'll show you what I mean in a moment here. But let me show you, or it's on the screen right now. Let me, there we go. Maybe just need to make this a little bit smaller. There we go. Okay, here's one of those other stats that's out there, guys. Okay, major index near-term returns post-election. So 1 week, 2 week, 1 month, 2 month. Okay, 1 week, 2 week, 1 month, 2 month. So going back 35 years or so, since 1988, typically the big caps, so the big caps in this case would be like the Dow, maybe some of the the S&P, they struggle in the first couple weeks after the election following the presidential election. Okay, but at the 2 month range, so basically end of the year, they've rallied nicely since there. This also shows that the small caps, the Russell, those of you that may trade in IWM, typically outperform. Again, this is data just back to 1988. Okay, so one of those things that, I show you all these types of things. I'm sure we'll do more tomorrow. We'll do more on Monday ahead of the election. Speaking of which, tomorrow Charlie Moon will be in here as a guest host tomorrow, so you won't want to miss that. Okay, let's break down here, guys. What was the market anticipating in Amazon? Can everybody see what's going on here? Here's the Amazon option markets. The stock closed at 186 in change. So if we focus in, since we're right in between two strikes here, okay, what was the market pricing in here? Market was pricing in, somewhere between a $13, $14 move in Amazon. That would put that down to 173, right up to about 200. Okay, does everybody see that? That was the expected move, expected range on Amazon. I'm actually going to look over my shoulder here. Wow, Amazon is really scooting now. Amazon's trading 196 right now, guys. Intel's up also, by the way. Intel's up almost 13%. So Amazon is right up at 196, approaching what that upper end is here. Now look at the option volume today. Okay, look at some of these strikes that traded in Amazon. And it's more so on the call side than it is on the put side in terms of where was the order flow for pending earnings here. Okay, look at these upside calls right here. Look at the volume. Look at the volume here, especially right here, right at the 200 line. You think that is any coincidence that that was right in line with what the market was expecting of a move if it was higher? Okay, look at this upside call volume. Now, it's a pretty binary move in terms of these options, because this is the case where someone could have bought these 200s, right? And these things closed at right here about $1.60. Okay, they closed at $1.60. Does everybody see that? This is going to be really interesting to watch tomorrow, guys. Really, really interesting. They closed at $1.55. Actually, I lied. Sorry. Too many almond joys today for Halloween. Sorry about that. So they closed at $1.55 with a delta of nearly 20. Okay. The stock right now, let's see, it's trading 195. So let's say the stock is up $9. Okay. So right now the stock is trading 195, up $9. If we look at what we would project the value of that option to be tomorrow morning, if Amazon opened at 195, what would we think? Okay, given it's got a 19 delta, okay, it's got a 19 delta right here. So 19 delta, how would we figure out where we would think that call option would open up tomorrow morning? Rodney, thank you. Okay, well, if we take just the delta, okay, 19, excuse me, times a $9 move is $1.71. So just based on delta, nothing else, we would expect that option to be worth about $1.70 or so higher and open. Someone just said, William, you said 335. I'll accept that. You know, I get 325. Does everybody understand that? So all of these people, if that is their only option position, they just wanted to buy these 200 calls, okay, for a hope that Amazon was going up. These people are thinking that don't really understand the markets. Excuse me, that don't really understand the markets. They're thinking, woohoo, I'm in the chips, right? I'm up a ton of money. But as Rodney said, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? This implied volatility, okay, I guarantee you, we're in this range tomorrow, 195, I don't know if it's 190, 195, 200. This volatility at a maximum is going to be about 85% and most likely lower. Whoops. I got the 195 circled there, not the 200s. Hang on. Hang with me here. Boy, I'm so excited today to do this after the fact. Okay, so here is the 200 call. 152 is where the IV is. Okay, here's our value of $1.55. But tomorrow, what happens? That IV drops down to 85. Okay, let's project this out and see on the risk chart what this thing would really be worth. Okay, we're going to move the date ahead to November 1st. And look at this, guys. This is projecting. Maybe that call option is up a few pennies. Maybe. Does everybody see that? And I guarantee you, if the stock is somewhere in this range tomorrow, that implied volatility will not be higher than about 85%. Probably even be lower. I think I'm giving it, a little room there. Be careful. This is a perfect example, guys, if you are going to trade a binary event. Okay? Whether it's earnings, whether it's the election, whether it is a Fed move, some eco data, the jobs number tomorrow morning. If you are trading a binary event and volatility is not at the norm, you've got to adjust for it. Does everybody understand that? Does everybody understand that? I know we talk about it in my room all the time. Boy, oh boy, this is going to be a perfect example of this. Okay? All right, let's take a look at Apple. So someone just put in here, thank you, Bear. You put in here $1.43 earnings expected, 115, whatever it was. The problem with that is not a problem. The market is more concerned about guidance. I haven't seen what Amazon, if they've even come out with guidance yet. My guess is they have not started their conference call. So we probably haven't heard that yet. Just like yesterday with Microsoft, for about an hour, the stock was trading a little bit higher. It's like $5 higher or something. And then the conference call hit. They talked about guidance. Okay. And hey, Doug, you made it. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Your question about yes, but how? Tell me what you mean by that. Okay. Let me go on to Apple here, guys, for a moment. I don't believe Apple earnings are out yet. Conference calls at 5 Eastern. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, Apple closed 226. Market expecting right around an $8 move. You mentioned being careful trading a binary event. Yes. Okay, so that's what you were talking about. Be careful if you're trading options around a binary event, Doug. Typically with a binary event, like an earnings call, okay, or if you're doing something on a big eco data print, like tomorrow morning with unemployment or whatever it might be, there is typically going to be jacked up volatility. Okay? John Berg wrote in here, implied volatility reverts back to its mean. Sorry, guys, I'm going to flip back to Amazon for a second here, and we're going to look at an implied volatility chart in Amazon because I want to explain what reverting back to its mean actually means. Here's a 1-year implied volatility chart in Amazon. So you can see when we get these spikes, okay, and when we get these dips, okay, so volatility is always going to find its midpoint. It's always going to find its level. So Doug, if you're going to be trading options around a binary event, just make sure you account for any change in potential implied volatility. All right, I want to get to Apple, but I know people are waiting very, very patiently here, very patiently for, yes, our word of the day for some super swag. And we are definitely going to have multiple winners today. So let me get that up on the board right now. Got a special rendition of that, I think, if I can get it to work. I'm hoping. Come on here. Many of you could probably guess where there it is, what the word of the day would be. And here it is. There you go, guys. There you go. Got the ghosts and the goblins in there and the skeletons. Groucho Marx looks like he's about to you-know-what in his pants because he's so scared of this here. Okay, let's get spooky in the chat if you want to be entered into the wheel spin here today, guys. Okay, and we will have multiple winners today. Let's go. Let's keep those spookies coming here. Intel, wow, now up 15%. Big move for Intel. All right, let's talk Apple. Amazon giving back. It's 194. Okay, it's hanging in there. Let's talk Apple. Sorry, so much going on here. Okay, I think we had said that the expected move in Apple was about $8. Okay. So with the stock 226 and an $8 move, let's just call it 218 to 234. 218 to 234 expected range here. Again, in Apple, just like we saw in Amazon. Okay, look at the upside calls. Look at these upside calls all the way from, straight at the money, but really starting around 235 on up. Almost 50,000 of the 240s. Lots of upside call buying in Apple. Okay, so we will have to watch what happens. But again, we know that implied volatility is going to get hit. We know that implied vol is going to get hit. You got to account for it. Let's just see, but now that I'm looking at Intel and up over 15%. Let's see what the paper flow was like in Intel today. The stock closed 21.5. Okay, expected move right around $2.50 or so. That is spot on right now. That is right what we're seeing after market here. Obviously, that's more than likely going to change somewhat till tomorrow morning. But boy, that move is spot on. Here also, especially on the 23 line, lots of upside call buying in Intel. Let's see. Intel, calls outweighed puts by about 1.5 to 1 today. Okay, what's going to happen next week? Okay, saw a nice VIX spike today, but if we look where we got up to today, look at this resistance. Okay, even if we go back to, what happened to my drawing tool there? There we go. Even if we go back to here, okay, guys, which is back in what we saw happen in April. Okay, obviously this was that beginning of August where Japanese yen whole issue there. So kind of discount that a little bit. But look at that and this and this. That resistance right around the 23 area, 23.5 area or so. That's kind of where we traded up to today. That's where we traded up to today. And I had this call earlier. I was featured on a podcast earlier today, guys, because everybody was talking about, wow, look at the VIX, look at the VIX, look at the VIX. Okay, what do we see here? What do we see here? Yeah, this short-term VIX, it spiked up. Where did we get to? We got right to that resistance area. But then you know what happened? Look at the futures. Look at the futures. When I said early on today, complacent, that the market, the VIX looked a little complacent, this is what I meant. Okay? Election risk right here. Election risk. And where do you see everything else? At the end of the day, we actually saw futures down a little bit in the VIX. Okay? What this tells me, and this is only one day, right? Things can obviously change overnight tonight. What this tells me is the market is not looking at an extended downturn. Again, that can change, right? That can change. The market is pricing in election risk. And then, okay, back to normal sort of trading at that point. We'll monitor this every single day here. We will keep monitoring this. But in addition to the election next week, we get the Fed also The election on Tuesday, my guess is we're not going to have an outcome right away. That would be the best thing for the market, regardless of who wins. The market doesn't want a protracted election, especially if it goes into weeks, not just days. But we'll get a Fed decision next Wednesday. Also, are they going to lower by a quarter? Are they going to lower by a half? Are they not going to lower at all? Okay, let's take a live look at what the market is expecting the Fed to do. Refresh the screen. Let's get a live look. Okay, so here we go. Right now, our current target rate is 4 3/4 to 5%. 97% probability of a 25 basis point cut, 0% of a 50. It was just a month ago that the market was pricing in a 50 basis point cut. Okay? 97%, 25 basis point cut, 3%, no cut at all. If we go out to the next meeting afterwards, which is right before Christmas, okay, here we are, 73% probability of an additional 25 basis point cut. So that has definitely moderated over time. Bear, who put there? Or John, is there a VIX trade 21 to 28 days out that may make money as it goes down, as the VIX goes down? You would want to be long put spreads or short call spreads. I don't like doing calendars or time spreads in the VIX because it's a futures product and you have different prices for different expirations. Okay, guys, 2-minute countdown to get your spooky in for the wheel today. 2-minute countdown. Okay, if you haven't already entered in, make sure you get that in there. I think we've got a record number today, so there we go. Final call for the wheel. Make sure you smash those like buttons. Okay, Amazon, what are we doing now? Oh, it's 196 now. It's getting to that 200 area, which was what the expectation was on the upside. I'm going to extend this because I think Apple results are coming out in a minute. I know their conference call isn't for a while yet. Okay, but their results are going to come out here in a minute or so. And let's also look, while we're waiting for this, let's look to see what the S&Ps are pricing in, not just for tomorrow based on the employment report, but what the S&Ps are pricing in going out through the election next week. Okay. November 1st, let's get you on here. There we go, November 1st. Closed it, let's, where did we close today? Okay, market pricing in about roughly a 50 to 55 point move. Okay, about a 1% move for tomorrow. That's kind of right in line with what the movements have been. Okay, right about 1%. Who's this injury right here? Tyreek. Why are you going to questionable? Apple earnings moments away. Okay, and then let's see what the market is pricing in going out to the election. Okay, I'm not going to look at the 5th. I'm going to look at the 6th, next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, the market is pricing in, ooh, boy, oh boy. Yowza, yowza, yowza. Okay, about 2.5% move between now and next Wednesday, including in the election. Okay, Apple earnings look like they're out. It looks like the stock is up a little bit. Again, both for Apple and Amazon, guys, we've got to wait. Now it's down. Now it's unchanged. All right, it's coming out right now. It's very fluid. Let's see where they are here. Apple earnings per share beats 164 versus 160. Okay, that's the headline. What else do we have here? Revenues also beat slightly. Stock is pretty much unchanged. Now there we go. There's a pop. There's a pop in Apple. It's up almost about $4 right now. And now it's back to unchanged. So who knows? Well, we'll have to see. Meanwhile, Amazon is trading right around that 195 or so. All right, guys. Fun-filled. Next, again, tomorrow, Charlie Moon will be guest hosting tomorrow. I will be back in Chicago on the trading floor next week. So we will get some of the live traders from the S&P and the VIX pit. We'll get them on here as well. Now, Apple, what are you doing now, Apple? It's really fluctuating all over, down slightly. Okay, guys. Let's hit the wheel here. Let's get a... Oh, my God. There's so many names on here. I don't know if I can even read them. Holy smack. Okay. We'll go with 2 winners today. Don't forget, you need to be present. You need to be present. Charlie's awesome, Paul. Oh, I'm glad that you think so. We all love him. Charlie is the best. Charlie is the best. There is no question about it. Okay, instead of a drum beat here, instead of a drum beat for our countdown, let's try and get something. I'm trying to get something else playing here. Hang on just with 1 second with me here, guys. We're going to get it. I swear we're going to get it. Okay. Here we go. As soon as he says Monster Mash, we're going to spin the wheel.
My monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the monster.
There we go.
It was a graveyard smash.
And our first winner of the day. No way. Doug, are you still here? Let me just tell you something, guys. And you guys know this is completely random. Doug actually emailed me at literally at 2:55 and said, hey, is Jeff doing his after hours class today? I want to attend. And I said, he's doing it, but later, because I'm doing this Special Market Minds live stream right at the close today. I said, great, I'll be in there. Doug, are you here? You've got to be here to collect, man. We'll give you 10 seconds. Doug, are you here? 10. Apple's down about $5 after hour. There we go, Doug. Okay, Doug, shoot me an email. Shoot me an email there with your mailing address and your size, and we'll get you out some swag. Okay, now, let's go again here. As soon as we hear the Monster Mash again, we will spin.
They played the monster.
There we go.
Out from his coffin, Jack's voice did ring. Seemed he was troubled by just one thing. Opened the lid and shook his
Winner number 2 today, Gene Monaco. Gene Monaco, are you here? Gene Monaco, are you here? Oh, 2 winners. Okay, Gene, Doug, you've got the email address to send me your info, size, mailing address. Yeah, Gene Merritt, sorry about that. Sorry about that. All right, guys. Hope this was a good one today. Maybe every now and then we'll slip in these after hours live streams. Okay, so we'll have to see how that one goes. Actually, next Tuesday might not be a bad one to do this election day, with everything going on. Doug Reback, not you. This was Doug Dustheimer. I think I spelled or pronounced your name right, and Gene Monaco. All right, smash those likes, guys. Really appreciate it. You can see how much this is growing. Okay. Next Tuesday, next Wednesday, John, maybe we'll do it Wednesday after the Fed announcement. Yeah, you never know here. But again, tomorrow, Charlie Moon will be the host. Appreciate everybody adjusting your schedules or just, coming in at a different time today. This was great. Right before I go here, okay, Apple is down 2% post-market. Not a big move. Not what the market really wanted to see, but not a real big move yet. But again, guys, both Apple and Amazon, be careful here because it really all comes down to what they say at their conference calls. Okay, everybody. I hope you have a great evening today. Go trick-or-treating. Okay, I'm going to wait for the kids to come by now. Have a great evening, everyone. Charlie, you'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you Monday. See you, everybody.